Our coverage continues on the massive apartment fire in the Southwest Valley.
We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday at 5 o'clock. It's now been more than 24 hours since the fire started. It's still active.
The fire broke out at a complex under construction off the 215 in Buffalo. And that's where we find Fox 5's Danny Maston live for us with the latest. Danny?
Yeah, John and Jacqueline, that's right. I'm here near the 215 in Buffalo where the fire is still smoldering at this hour. And you can also still smell the smoke kind of lingering in the air here. Fire crews are still out here working. They just started hosing some things down again. I'm told there are a couple of trucks, one engine, air resource, and one battalion chief here right now. And we heard from some witnesses earlier today who share what they heard and saw when the fire broke out.
Flames and thick black smoke covered the sky after apartments that were under construction in the Southwest Valley went up into flames Tuesday.
I was getting ready to go back home. I live over at Rhodes Ranch, and I turned around and I seen this big plume of smoke coming up.
Many viewers capturing videos that shows the fire appeared to have started on the upper floor of the structure.
It just started erupting. The plume of fire was huge.
Clark County Fire Department says fire crews were able to protect the remaining property value, which the developer has valued the clubhouse building between $10 and $15 million, and called in all resources to do so by getting help from the Southern Nevada Water Authority.
Called operations, and we fired up an extra 3 units at this pump station to help supplement them with water so they could help put out the fire.
They were putting gallons and gallons. You could see the water that they were trying to spray, but you could just see the flames pushing, the water back.
Video we captured this morning shows part of the structure collapsing. Clark County Fire says specialized equipment is being brought in to demolish what is left of the damaged structures.
And the site is expected to smoke and smolder for the next several days. Traffic closures will remain on Mall Ave as crews continue to clean up and investigate, as the cause of this fire is still under investigation. Of course, when we get that latest information, we will bring it to you. Reporting live, I'm Danny Maston, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.